What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be poker vlog number 45, back at the South Point for some 3-5 and 2-3 no limit. We're coming off that wild session from the WPT meetup game last week, that 13-hour roller coaster, down 3,400, end up losing 500 on the night. So looking to bounce back from that. That was a long one. This is our first session since then, so I took like 4 days off after that. So let's get right into the hands. Hope you enjoy the video. If you do, make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, we'll chat at the end of the video. All right, we get called for the 3-5, grab the max 1500, and our first noteworthy hand is pocket aces from under the gun. I open for $20, and we get calls from the middle position player, button, and the big blind. So we're going 4 ways to a flop that brings 10-6-5 with a couple of diamonds. Great flop, as we have the ace of diamonds as well for a backdoor flush draw. First player checks it to me. I'm sure I can bet this one or check. I decided to check because we have 3 players behind, and this board's not going to connect with me very well too often, so I'm going to play it passively, keep the pot small. So I check. Next player bets 40, the button and the big blind get out of the way, and I make the call. So we're going heads up to a beautiful turn card, the 5 of spades. So we really have nothing to worry about on this board. My opponent shouldn't really have a 5 here from early position, so I check to him, and my opponent comes out with another bet, this time $100. Looks like he's probably betting for value with a 10 and looking to charge me for my flush draw. I could probably put in a raise right here, maybe get more value from a 10, but I'm not sure if he's going to call, so I just make the call. River brings a queen of diamonds, completing the front door flush. It's the most obvious hand that I could have, so I think he's going to slow down and check. I'd hate for him to check back like a 10, queen 10, king 10, so I take the lead here, bet $175. He spends some time in the tank before tossing out a chip for a call. We show pocket aces, and they are good.
Thank you.
Next, I'm on the $10 button straddle and look down at a pair of 6s. Nice hand on the straddle. Action folds around to the hijack, who raises to $40. Haven't seen much from him yet. Looks like he's on the tighter side. I go ahead and just make the call here in position, and the big blind comes along as well. So we're going 3 ways to a pretty good looking flop. 4-4-5 with a couple of spades. First player checks it, and the original raiser bets 50. This flop shouldn't have connected well with my opponent. We could be ahead at the moment, but if we're not, I feel like it's a good candidate to maybe start bluffing this one. So I go ahead and put in the raise to $140. I'm on the straddle. I can have anything here. I can have a 4, I can have straight and flush draws, or a hand like 6s right now like I do. So I make it 140, and action's on the big blind, who has a decision himself. He goes into the tank for a bit and decides on a flat call, so alarm bells are going off already. I'm done with it now unless we hit a 6. He makes the call, and the original better makes the call. So we're looking for a lot of help on the turn, and we get a pretty good card. It's the deuce of clubs, so we pick up a straight draw to go along with our pair of 6s now. Both players check this turn card over to me, and I will not be putting in another dollar unless we hit a 3 or a 6. We're going to take the free card. No help. It's a 9 of spades on the river, and here comes the big blind. He's ready to bet now. Fires out $400. So next player folds. I let this one go. Shoot, we could have been drawn dead to a 6 on that one. He might have had pocket 5s, maybe 4 or 5 suited or something. So we lose one there. Nice hand, sir. Nice pot. Next, we look down at Jack 8 suited from the big blind. Under the gun +1 opens for $15. Cutoff makes the call, button calls, I'm defending, I make the call. We're going 4 ways to a flop that brings 9-8-3 with 2 clubs, 1 heart. So middle pair, backdoor flush, and straight draws. We both check to the original raiser, who bets $25. Action folds back around to me, and I make the call. Turn brings a 4 of diamonds. I check it over to him, and he bets $45. I'm not sure why I decide to raise on this turn. I think my hand's probably strong enough to just call down here, but seems pretty weak. I feel like he might have a little bit stronger of a hand than me, so I thought, why not turn my hand into a bluff on the turn here? That'll look super strong. So I put in a check raise to $150. He goes into the tank for a little bit and decides on a call. Not really sure where I'm at right now, if he's putting me on some sort of semi-bluff, calling me light with like a 9 or maybe pocket 10s, or if he has a straight or a flush draw. So when the river brings a king of diamonds, I can't really slow down here. I'm not going to give up. I'm repping hands like 2-pair or better, all the sets. So I fire out a large bet of $310, and he's back in the tank for a very long time this time. Feels like he's going to snap me off, but he eventually finds the fold. He said 4 or 5 of clubs is good, which I think he meant if I was bluffing with 4 or 5 of clubs, nice move, but that was the only bluff he could find for me. He said he did have 4 or 5 beat, so maybe we were betting with the best hand or bluffing with the best hand there on that one, not sure. Next, we are on the $10 button straddle again. Look down at another pretty hand, King Jack suited. Action folds around to the cutoff, who raises to $35. I think we have an automatic 3-bet here. I take it up to $100 to play. Action folds back to him, and he makes the call. So we're going heads up to a brick flop. 7-4-3 with 1 club. All right, my opponent checks this one to me, and we completely whiff the board, but after 3-betting pre-flop, we're going to be betting nearly 100% of the time here on any board. So I go ahead and bet $75, keep it small, and my opponent decides on a flat call. Here we go to a queen of diamonds on the turn, which should be a much better card for me. I think a lot of times my opponent's going to have all the small pocket pairs, medium-sized pocket pairs looking to hit a set given the pre-flop action. So when he checks to me, I can either give up or size up. So I decide to go with the latter. Put the pressure on. I bet $275, just like I would with overpairs, ace queen. It's going to put him in a really tough spot with all of his middle-sized pocket pairs, because he must consider what I will do on the river if he wants to put in not only the 275 here, maybe another 500-600 on the river. So he tanks for a little bit, lets this one go, said he did have a pocket pair. So take down a nice little pot there with king high. Next, we look down at ace 10 offsuit from the small blind. The $10 under the gun straddle is on, and we see a couple limps from middle position. Action folds to me, and we got to punish him, right, guys? I take it up to $60 to play, and action is on the big blind, who loves to gamble. He comes along, he calls the 60 out of the big blind, and the rest of the players fold. So we're going heads up to a flop that comes ace, jack, deuce with 2 spades. Nice flop. My opponent only has about 240, so we know we're just going to get it in with him. I go ahead and bet $75, and he does ship it all in. So we have an easy call for 175 more or so. Make the call, and the board runs out. Jack of hearts, 10 of hearts. He shows us queen 8 of spades, so we hold against the flush draw, and we win a nice pot.
Button is good.
Next, we pick up another nice hand, pocket jacks on the $10 button straddle. Action folds over to middle position player, who opens for $40. He's got 300 to start the hand, so when it folds to me, I go ahead and put in the 3-bet to 125, looking to get it in with him. Folds back to him. He says it's an all-in or fold situation, and he eventually lets this one go. Says he had a pocket pair, so he makes a nice lay down there. Shortly after this hand, the 3-5 game is going to break. We win $304, in for 15, out for 1804, and we're going to head over to the 2-3 game for a little bit. First interesting one at the 2-3, we have king jack offsuit from under the gun. I open for $10, and we get several callers, 4 callers to be exact. We're going 5 ways to a pretty good flop, 8, 9, 10 with 2 clubs. So we're open-ended to the nuts, and we have the king of clubs. First player checks. I'll be checking this one with 4 other opponents in, and action checks around to the cutoff, who wants to bet $45, so almost the size of the pot. Next player folds. I'm not going anywhere. I make the call. Next player calls as well. The last one gets out of the way. So we're going 3 ways to a 4 of clubs on the turn, completing the front door flush. I check this one. Player in the middle checks, and the button checks as well. We got a free river card that brings the queen of hearts. We make the nut straight. Not really worried about the flush. I'd be most worried that the player in the middle might have checked the flush on the turn, but I'm still going to bet. Pretty good size here for some value on the river. I bet $150. Looking to get paid from any other jacks that are out there, or 6-7, 2 pair, any sets. I bet $150. Next player folds. The button is in the tank for a while, but lets this one go. So we pick up a nice pot there with the nut straight. Next, we look down at pocket jacks again. This time we are in the hijack. The $6 button straddle is on, and we see a limp from the first 3 players. I take it up to $30 to play. Next player calls 30, and action folds around to the early limpers. 2 of them make the call. So we're taking pocket jacks 4 ways to a flop that brings, look at that door card if you can see it, jack 10-8 with 2 spades. We nail top set on a wet and coordinated board. Action checks over to me. I'm still going to be betting, keeping it somewhat small here. I make it $50, and player on my left has a decision. He starts compiling a lot of chips together and slides out a raise to $250, which is great news because he's an older gentleman, so I don't think he's calling 30 with 7-9 or Queen 9. It's not impossible, but doubtful. So it's most likely that he has like some sort of open ender and a flush draw or another set. So the next players get out of the way. I obviously announce all in. He makes the call. I tell him I have a set, and he goes, oh no, I was worried about that. He has a set of 8s. We are in the best possible situation up against bottom set. Here we go. The turn card is the 9 of spades. He picks up some outs for a chop. He can hit the 7 or a queen now. But the river is the 8 for quads. Unbelievable. We've been waiting all night to make a hand over another hand. We finally get it, have him in the worst possible shape he can be in, and we lose to quads.
I hand on 6.
Poker can be a brutal game. If we win that one, we're up 1,000 on the night, and it's a great night. But instead, we lose. Now we're down about $100. Let's get to the last interesting hand of the evening. Next, I look down at pocket 7s from under the gun. I accidentally limp. I didn't see the button straddle on for 6, so I toss out $10 looking to raise, but that's just going to be a call. So then we get limps from the next 3 players. The small blind limps as well, and the button straddler wants to use his option, taking it up to $46. So action folds over to me. Feel like he could be stealing. We probably have the best hand a lot of the times here, so I just lost to quads. I don't care. I'm going to gamble here. I toss out $375 to put him all in. He has $250 to start the hand, and he quickly makes the call. Let's see what the board brings. Here we go. Tournament poker, all in with 7s. Flop comes king 8. 4 with 2 diamonds, turn 8 of hearts, river 9 of spades. I tell him I have 2 pair, show the 7s, and we are good. Here we go. We can't win with a top set full house, but pair of 7s is going to take down a nice pot. That's going to wrap this one up, guys. I was a little deflated after those quads, so decided to book a little bit of a loser here. We were in for $1,500 total, out for $1,478, so we lost $22. We'll catch you at the end of the video. Alright guys, that's it for number 45. Hope you enjoyed all the hands. Kind of a weird session on this one. The best hand we made was that straight in the 2-3 game. Other than that, we had nothing, just pairs all night. Over 6 hours of play. It's going to happen sometimes, but can't complain because we grinded up about a $400 profit before those pocket jacks over the quad 8s. So to break even after all said and done, after taking a bad beat like that, can't complain. I'd call it a successful night overall. Just got to keep getting in the money good. Those things are going to happen every once in a while. That was unfortunate though, because that would have been a nice little win to end the night. But as always, here are the stats after every session. I post my No Limit Hold'em stats after every vlog. So we're cruising along, doing pretty good. Looking for a big upswing though. It's been a while. I think after New Year, we're going to jump into some 5-10 again and start going for it. Looking for a big 2023. So I hope you guys enjoyed the hands. Stay tuned to the end for a cool trick shot. And I'm going to California this weekend. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get in a session out there. I'm just hanging out with the family. We're going to a water park out there, indoor water park, so that'll be a fun getaway. And maybe we can get in a session. If not, I'm sure I'll get one in before next Tuesday or Wednesday to post by Saturday. So stay tuned for the next video. I really appreciate you guys checking out the video, liking, subscribing, all the good stuff. And that's it. Best of luck at the tables. We'll catch you on the next one.